Hey everyone, Argo is joining you.
Yeah, Argo. We're just waiting for others.
Okay. Yeah, I just saw your message. I don't know exactly how it happened. Today morning, I suddenly saw that you have been added to IAGA group, and then it seems Manoj Yadav has added me. I think Supratik is already a part of that group. I will ask Manoj to add people in this team as well. Right now, I really don't know. I mean, how active that group is. It's just not even one day.
Okay. So since today morning, have there been many messages that have been bouncing in the group?
I'm sorry.
Since today morning, have some messages? Have people been talking in the group? What's the activity like today?
Just a second. I have since morning. I think there has been 7 or 8, but none of them. I mean, all these lofty ideas, kind of. Uh, let's put India on Go world map again. Let us celebrate Go. Those kind of stuff.
That
Uh,
works good as long as there are people who are interested in the game. That's enough, actually.
I mean, I just see only 9 members so far. So the only I think it started only yesterday or I mean 2 3 days back, most
I
likely.
wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised if they recently started it
yeah,
because we were pushing them and talking to them. They were like, "Okay, let us also do it or something."
exactly. I think that. Okay, yeah. Here it says created by IAGA Manoj Kumar Yadav today at 11:20 a.m. So it just started. So we are much
Oh.
more active.
Take it, sure. I mean, whatever works. I would just love to know who all are there, actually, more than anything. It's nine people, right? Let's wait for Manoj to add a few more people. Then we'll, you know, find out what's happening.
So what I have seen is Supratik is in that group. I mean, the only person, and Rahul Chaurasia. I think somehow is he in our group? Rahul Chaurasia.
No, he's not. Manoj was talking about him.
So somehow I heard his name, and Supratik is there. That's
Okay.
it.
Okay, great, great. I think it'll be nice if a few of us, or even all of us, or whatever, if we can just join that group as well. That way we'll continue our regular meetups, but it's I feel it's better to be plugged in out there because I think if some tournament or something is happening, then I think that group will be more likely because they are still our official representatives of India.
Right. Yeah. Let's say how. I mean, I mean, if you ask me, I would say this group is much more active and actually to the. I mean, to be specific, like to the point. So I would probably
I
retain.
think yeah, I think that will probably end up continuing to be true also.
Yeah.
But there are other advantages of being in the national group as well, right? For what it's worth, it is the national group.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, most thing is like if they are kind of the actual representative group, then any kind if there are any plans of tournaments or anything, I mean that group will know it before anybody else.
Yeah. Anyway, let's wait for a few more people, then we'll start today's session.
I some for some reason I actually missed the today's round three. Uh, does anyone know how did Karan perform today?
Okay. The other two rounds, at least it's a good learning experience, right? If nothing else.
I mean, to be honest, I mean, yesterday when the first round I was playing, that was probably my third or fourth game in 19x board.
Okay, guys, I have to drop off for a little bit. I'll join back in a couple of minutes. Let's continue to wait for a few people, then we can start. I think Gurmeet has a couple of things to discuss. Once a few more people join, then we can start that.
Hmm. Okay. So how
Hey
about
guys, hi
if
Argham.
yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was just saying, how about we actually start today's session with the review of the game that you, Arga and Zishi played, right? So let's just wait for Zishi to join as well.
Uh,
Um, hmm? And then
sure,
we
sure.
can
Yeah,
just
sure.
review that game.
Okay. Hey, Arghya, I was saying, since you've joined this national group, if you see any big announcements there or anything useful happening,
I'll do one thing. No,
do
definitely.
pass it on to us.
No, obviously I do. I think what I would say is I'll connect with Manoj and ask them to join everybody else also in that group. I mean, there is no harm in being a part of that one as well.
Yeah, true.
No, I wouldn't want to actually. Well, I
Okay.
don't want to clutter my WhatsApp with too many groups. This is a good group. I like it.
This
I
one
don't
is
want to
active
have.
because everybody is playing. That group,
Yeah,
I mean, it's just started today. So,
yeah. So let's see how it is. If it's really good, then I would love to be there. But
yeah, I agree.
if you see anything big happening there, do forward it to us, like some tournament announcements or something.
Sure, sure, sure.
And Shrikant, you haven't filled in the form, right? The form for the OGS nicknames and rank and all of that. Shrikant? Is he there?
How many of you guys, anybody got vaccines?
Part of what?
Anybody got this COVID vaccine?
Ah, got the vaccine. Yes, I have, but I'm not in India. I'm in UAE,
Uh,
and I got the Chinese vaccine actually.
Oh,
Sinopharm
how was the
vaccine.
experience?
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I don't have any side effects. It's very well managed here. I think 30-40% of the population here is already vaccinated.
wow.
Some by Pfizer and some by Sinopharm. They also
Sinovac.
have a bit of Sinopharm. It's a
Sinopharm.
different vaccine.
Okay.
That's the Chinese one, right?
That's the Chinese, right? Yeah.
Yeah, both are Chinese, Sinovac and Sinopharm. Uh, Two different Chinese companies selling two different vaccines. Um, and starting from about a month ago, the case numbers here are also decreasing. There was a second wave in the UAE since about December. Uh, and since about beginning of March, case numbers decreased. So everyone's probably the thing in everyone's mind is that it's probably because of vaccines. So I guess it's working.
Oh, okay. I don't see anybody else. Has anyone checked with Rishi with his join? Just
Sashwat
ask.
messaged in the group that included Rishi. Yeah, that included Rishi as well. So he should be notified.
Yeah, I think we can get started. Maybe if you want, we can wait for a few more minutes.
Hmm.
Otherwise, we can start as well.
Yeah. Okay. Can you just share the link for the game? Let's just look into the game itself.
I'm really sorry I didn't do that. Just a second.
Mhm.
I shared it in the meeting details.
Yeah, it's up.
Gurmeet, if there's something else that you also want to discuss today, maybe we can start with that while we wait for Rishi. Like, I don't know if you were planning to give a lecture on something.
No, actually, I was thinking of reviewing a game, but that game is still going on.
I'm sorry, that game is what?
That game is still like that hasn't finished yet, right? This
No,
game.
no, no, it has not
So,
finished.
is there any other game of any of you which you would want me to review? I can review a couple of games.
So, Gurmeet, the idea was to review sort of the what do you call it? The beginning of the game
Okay,
for
that's
Argya
fine.
and Rishi, like first 10-15 moves from each of them.
Yeah, that's fine as well.
have a look at the
Yeah. Okay, so
direction of
let's
the
just
acoustic.
let me share this screen. Wait. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
What
Yeah, I can see.
the Go board is visible or the Meet link? Can you see the Go
No,
board?
I can. No, we can see the Google Meet actually on your screen.
Okay. Wait.
I think you have to share desktop or something like that.
Yeah, I have to then share the whole screen basically. Wait. Yeah, that should work. Okay, so now can you see it?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. So Argya is black and Rishi is white. So we did actually review the initial few moves already, right? So of course the biggest thing was that 5-5 move is normally never recommended because it's too influence oriented and it doesn't give you any special advantage over the 4-4 move. Should I go through the problem again or just continue? These are the things that we discussed last meeting itself, right?
Yeah.
Should I like if these things are okay, then I can just shift to the later moves.
Anybody others? Pranjal and Shrikant.
Yeah. For you guys, did you guys actually attended the last talk, or should I actually go through these moves again?
I didn't attend, but it's fine. You can continue.
Pranjal is around a 5 cube,
5 cube.
so I
Oh,
don't think
right.
we
Of course,
need to go through
of
that.
course.
Shrikant is new to the game, so if we
Okay.
can just quickly summarize that if Shrikant is interested, we can do that.
Right. And Shrikant, if you can actually fill in the form, just add fill the form that Shashwat shared earlier. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So basically, the idea is that normally in the opening you start from the corner, then you go to the edge, and basically the sides, these areas, and then towards the center. Can you see the cursor?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so this is a very usual 4-4 point opening. This particular move is not very common. Mainly, as I said earlier, it's very influence based, and like even when you actually play a bit near the corner that is 4-4 point, even then, the corner is actually open. The opponent can invade at 3-3. Right. Karan mentioned in the last session about something about enclosing shapes, right? So for the 5-5 point, there is no good enclosure. For 3-2-3 point, like doing like something like this and and this. This is an enclosure. This actually encloses the corner. Anyway, so let's just delete this. Yeah. But with 5-5, there is no good enclosure. With 4-4 point, you need two moves to enclose. Something like Something like this. This is an enclosure. It requires 2 extra moves, but it actually encloses a really good big corner. Okay. Okay, so black played the usual 2 4 4 punch. That's a good opening itself. Um, okay, so once all the corners are taken, then you normally try to approach the other corner or enclose your own. Right? So move like this or this. Like these two moves, something here or here, these kind of things. These are good moves for black. Right. Basically, you are trying to develop your corner a bit so that you can then afterwards shift to the side. This is a good approach. Normally, whenever somebody approaches, you back off to the other side. The idea is simply that board is simply just too open right now. Like you don't have to argue unnecessarily with the opponent. You just say, okay, if you want this area, okay, you can have this. I'll just have the nearby one, right? And in the attempt to make something here, he will give you extra moves essentially, which will make your group on this side pretty strong. Okay, so you don't really want to hit the incoming stone when somebody approaches. You don't want to hit the stone like this or any stone here. When position is in your favor, then you can pincer sometimes. Like instead of white playing here, you might want to play something like maybe this. Though in this case, I'm not really sure how good pincer is. Pincer's basic idea is always that I don't want you to have a living base here. So even if you do make a life here, you'll have to work hard for it. But that also means that you have to like manage 2 white groups on both sides. So that also is pretty difficult for the white in these kind of games. When normally pincer is done when white has some help over here, for example. Okay. Okay. So.
Okay.
Yeah, then like this corner you can say is kind of finished. What do I mean by finished? Like always think of like in the last session we had some specific learnings. One very important learning was urgent and then big. Okay, urgent then big. So is there any urgency for the white to play on this corner anymore? To basically, is there any urgency to answer this black move? Right. The answer is no. Right now, there is no urgency. White can actually play somewhere else. Then white will try to find what is the biggest point where white can play right now. Again,
So Gurmeet, this was what big before urgent, right?
no, urgent before big.
Sorry, yeah. Urgent before big.
Yes.
My mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Urgent before big. Just go for the urgent, and like it's not just urgent before big. Like when you actually think about, like when you say it urgent before big, right? Then it seems like it's putting a stress on the fact that you have to check whether the current move, like whether there is an urgent move right now, right? That's where the stress is when you actually say urgent before big. But it's actually a bit more than that. Basically, like in general, initially this guidance is very good. That just check the urgent move. If there is no urgent move, then just check the big move.
Okay.
Right. The second part, searching for the big move itself, is a really important part of the proverb. Okay. So it's not just the stress on the checking the urgent. That is, of course, a really important thing, and that actually becomes much more important when you are talking about the middle game. When you're talking about the middle game, very commonly people actually simply go for the big move, and then they like essentially leave a lot of cutting, with a lot of cuts and a lot of basically there are a lot of places where the opponent can cut, or there is a lot of RG, something like that, right? That's where that first part of the proverb, that is check the urgency, that becomes very important. Okay. For the most of the start of the game, the second part itself is also like really important. Like check the urgency. If there is no urgency, then just simply go to the biggest move that you can play. Okay, and in this game, like there is also like in the initial stages of the game, there is also a really simple way to check what is big, and by big you very literally just count the number of spaces. For example, here there are like what four and then three, so it's like 11 spaces between these two stones. These two stones 10 spaces, there 10 spaces, here you have like 7 spaces. So this seems like the biggest right now, so like approaching somewhere here would be good. For example, that is a very simple measure and it normally works out pretty good. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a very simple incarnation of our really important principle, that is first urgent then big, right? So for the second part of it, that is what is big. It's a really simple incarnation of checking what is big. So you simply count the spaces. Okay. So yeah, so that this was again good. Like simply 10 space gap was itself decently big. Of course, this was the bigger, but that's all right. It also actually depends on which kind of game you want to play. So like if you play moves on this side, then black will get opportunity to get a moyo on this side. So that's a very different type of game. You might be more comfortable with it, then you might want to actually go for a bit shorter side, because you want that particular type of game. Okay, all of this looks good. It's just that this tone is not looking very nice here, right? So you seems to require one more move to at least make something good here. That's what he needed to do. Even then, it is pretty open. You can very easily, for example, come here. This point is very critical right now. And you can see in the initial game, because white actually played one unnecessary move, you can clearly see the difference between the two positions, right? This side you can say cancels out with this, so to say, right? But on the other two sides seems like black have much better claim than the white, right? That is because one move actually got somewhat wasted, right? So like you might have wondered, okay, like initial like Komi is from 5.5 point to 7.5 point depending on different countries and different organizations. Sometimes sometimes that actually seems pretty big. Why are we actually giving so many extra points to the white for simply playing as the second player? It turns out that actually is that big, right? Playing the first move actually is that big, that it actually is big enough of an advantage that to compensate it you have to give around 5.5 to 7.5 points. And this is one of this is very similar to that, essentially. Like losing one move in these initial stages actually can lead to really big difference. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so this was not a good move for the enclosure, as long as the enclosure is considered. So this would have been better if you actually want the enclosure right now.
Okay. So you are saying like P3 is a better move than O3,
O3.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because it actually it actually encloses the corner, and then the opponent can't live in the corner. It turns out even with this 3-3 actually turns out to work. I don't remember the exact sequence. I have to check it if I can actually play the ideal moves. But yeah, this does not encloses. This one does not encloses the corner. That's one enclosure that I actually mentioned in the start of the review, right? So this particular sequence of moves actually encloses the corner, right?
Okay.
So this particular move, see, all what it can do, right? You always have to think about the purpose. That was another really big learning from the last lecture. That always think about the purpose of every single move, right? And the only purpose that this particular move can play possibly is to enclose the corner. It doesn't seems like it is playing any other purpose, right? So like playing a particular move which is actually better for that particular purpose would be overall better, right? So like playing the move over here would have been better,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
It's a completely different scenario if there are some black stones, like if there are some white stones here, and this particular stone is putting some pressure on them, right? Then you can actually think about actually play. Then you can say this particular move is having two purposes, and then overall it turns out to be a better move, right? But for now it seems like it's fulfilling just it is trying to fulfill just one particular purpose, and then you should just choose a move which is ideal for that purpose. Okay, let's move. Yeah, can you like figure out the problem with this move from the point of view that I actually like, from the things that we have already discussed? What is the problem with this move?
R8, right?
Yes, R8 move, that white stones move.
Hey guys.
It was not threatening anything.
Oh, that is good. So the big learnings, just think about those, urgent then big, right? And the other was like the other was essentially like every move should have a purpose, right? So from those, like just think of the specific learnings that we have gone through, right? And Rishi, for the question that I asked is that we have reviewed the game till this point. Okay, so quickly, we just talked about the kind of things that we talked about earlier yesterday, in the last session, urgent and big, and yeah, take it on. Seems to be a guitar. Who is DP?
Rishi's DP.
Acha. Okay. Okay, nice. Anyway, yeah, so I was just going through the same kind of things that we discussed last in the last session, and after that, one important thing that we discussed, which was actually mentioned by Karan as well in the last game, was that this move is not good, because this move, the purpose of this the possible purpose for this move could have been to actually enclose this corner. There is no other purpose that this move can possibly try to fulfill, and for that particular purpose, this particular move is not the ideal. It turns out, because this particular move does not encloses the corner. Instead,
Hey,
this move should have been
the screen because I'm not able to see anything.
okay. This screen should be shared, no?
We are able to see Rishi. I think. Are you by any chance looking at a wrong screen
Yeah.
or anything?
Yeah, like in the list of participants, there must be a screen as well. A particular, like, my name must be coming twice out of, like, one would be my user, one would be my user, and the other was
Let me just
must be the screen.
log back in because it's not letting me click on any participant.
Okay. Yeah, so I was asking that what's the problem with this move, right? So can anybody like, from those very specific, very like, from those very simple learnings that we talked about? Okay. Yeah. So Rishi, I was. Can you
Yeah, I can
see
see
the
it now.
screen now?
Yep.
Okay. So let me just quickly explain the last thing that I was talking about, and that was that this move is not good overall because the only purpose that this particular move can possibly fulfill is to try to enclose this corner. And for that particular purpose, this move would have been the ideal move, not this move, because this move does not encloses the corner. 3-3 still works.
But
Okay.
wasn't it? I mean, won't it also help extend beyond the corner? You're saying that-
Beyond corner, this is the move for that, right? Like
See, I think the core philosophy out here is we shouldn't have one move doing two things poorly. It's better to do one
Exactly.
thing well, and best
Yeah.
to do two things well. In this
Yes.
particular case, this move is doing a little bit of both, but it's not doing either of them to the fullest extent.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, that is good. Yeah, for example, this is also a really important thing that sometimes you all must have actually started realizing that influence is also important, right? Like as soon as you start start playing 19 by 19 games, you start realizing, okay, influence needs to be taken care of. Influence is pretty important. Territory is not the only thing, right? And this particular group, you can say it's actually like having some influence towards this direction, right? And it turns out whenever you have a wall, if let's say you had a wall here of, let's say, three stones, right? From one stone you can jump two spaces. From three stones you can jump, from two stones you can jump three places. From three stones you can jump four places. Number of stones, say, plus one number of spaces you can jump, and that normally works pretty good on the edge. On the second line it works pretty good. On third line it also is okay. Here there is from that point of view as well, from this particular wall, this particular gap is pretty nice already, like it's fitting very well. Anyway, so let's just and then I asked the question, what is the problem with this move? From the usual learnings that we talked about, what is the problem with this move? That's where we were, and Tanishk messaged something last time. Could you try? Okay. Instead of R8, F3 or G3? F3 or G3. Okay. Right. So, yeah, 3-3 would have been good. That is true. But why this move is itself not good? What is a better move that we can talk about? Of course, this is a good move, as you just mentioned. But why this is not a good move? This is not a good move because, first of all, it's not urgent. There is no urgency that it's actually fixing, right? And second, it's not even big, right? It's not really that big. It's not reducing the territory that much or invading or nothing, right? So from the very first learning that we talked about, like, just consider exploring these specific learnings that we talked about to the extent that they start failing. They start to the extent that you start realizing, okay, when and how those learnings needs to be applied, right? Just focus on those learnings only, and afterwards, like, slowly add in more stuff, right? From that learning itself, this move does not look urgent, neither big.
So you're saying even after you're saying at this point the corners and the area is still not settled. So continue.
This
to
corner?
try- I mean, none of the corners
This
are
corner.
still settled. So continue to.
This corner is the only one which is close to settled. This is very ridiculously open. This is somewhat open. This is actually close to settle as well, but this also requires one extra move. This is of course open. This is 3-3 open.
Okay.
Yeah, almost all the corners are open.
So and why would you say? So you said that the top left is more or less
Top
close.
left, this one?
The bottom right is more or less close. Is it because there are like stones blocking them?
Yeah. So basically, see, this particular corner would have been actually closed by the learning that we just talked about. That is, if this move would have been here, right? then it is exactly the same shape that we talked about here, right? है ना? Just think in those terms only. Okay, consider, okay, this shape was already good, right? This shape was already good to enclose this corner, right? So if I move this stone from here to here, still it is pretty close to this, say like almost as close to the corner as this move, right? It is even a bit more territorial, right? It seems like that if this is actually enclosing the corner, this should be these three moves should be enclosing the corner as well. This is actually further from the corner.
Okay.
Got the point?
Okay.
Right. That's why my first hint is saying that okay, this particular corner should be actually fixed by now. This corner should be enclosed by now.
So you're saying that is harder to invade for black?
When I'm saying it's enclosed, then I actually mean that it's impossible to invade.
Oh, really?
Like,
Just
yeah.
These stones are going to make it impossible for black to invade.
Yeah, for example, like simplest. Okay, let me actually cover some. Wait. Enclosure shapes. Let's see if enclosure shapes are Go Sensei. If the Go Sensei has a few enclosure shapes, has an article about enclosure shapes. Yeah, see, this is the simplest first enclosure. Okay, having these two stones actually encloses the corner. That means that white cannot invade. Whatever white do, black should have a specific set of ideal moves so that white will get killed.
Oh, so when you say the space, I mean, this is an enclosure.
Yeah.
You're actually meaning that
Yeah, it's corner is gone basically.
is nil if both players play the strongest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so these are the usual enclosures. This is a territory, like this is the complete enclosure that it actually encloses the territory completely. These are none of these are actually enclosing the territory completely. This one is, and other is. It's not actually like all the enclosure shapes are not actually given in this particular article. I have to look where all the enclosure shapes are given.
This is giving shapes that are considered enclosures, but they have not actually settled the corner.
Yeah, none of those, like for example, this particular, right? This or this. For example, these two actually are getting popular nowadays. Like for last in the last half a decade, these actually started getting popular.
Okay.
So these are actually not very well explored as well by now. They still have weaknesses. We do know that they have some weaknesses.
Okay.
White cannot live. When white cannot live here, that is for sure. But white actually can do a lot of damage.
Okay.
Gurmeet, I'm just trying to understand one point. So if you are trying to get an enclosure at third column, at the third line, then
Third line like this.
yeah. So no, not here. This is the fourth one.
Oh,
I'm
that's
talking about C. I'm
yeah,
talking about
C
C.
line, yeah.
So if you are actually creating an enclosure in the C column, then if D tries to invade, D can invade, but those stones will ultimately end up dead, right? I mean, they will not be able to.
It won't be a successful invasion.
Yeah, so because there won't be any eyes to ultimately if it gets
Yeah,
around.
there won't be enough space to make eyes. Yes, there won't be enough space to make eyes.
Okay.
Oh, for some reason my computer got hanged. Wait. Okay, can I continue now?
Yeah.
Please.
Another question. Yeah, sure. So, yeah. Okay, so what was the problem with this move? Essentially, as we talked earlier, that it is neither urgent nor big. Okay, so one urgent move one can think of. Okay, that what is an urgent move? For example, this corner is not finished yet, right? To actually remove the possibility of invasion, one can try to like enclose this corner. That's one possibility. The other possibility is to simply invade this 3 point.
So
Or
how would you enclose the top right then?
this.
Right.
Either okay, again go with the same two shapes that we talked about. The only two shapes we talked about for the enclosure were having 1 3 4 point and then 3 5 point, right? These 2 points.
Okay.
That was already an enclosure. Other was we talked about this particular 3 stone enclosure, right?
Okay.
Just like always try to actually try to think that how can you milk out the maximum benefit from the specific thing that you are learning, right? So you should should be able to guess that having a stone here will enclose this corner, right? These 2 stones will enclose this corner, right? Other way is also this stone. This stone also encloses.
But I guess it's smaller territory.
Yeah, it's a smaller territory. No, basically this stone actually fits very well with this one. So that's why I was,
you make that tripod.
yeah. Not just tripod. Actually, it's fitting well with these 2 stones as well. So that's why I was actually thinking about this.
With those 2 stones, you are talking about K16 and Q10. Why?
Yeah. So basically, trying to make a moyo over here. So if somebody tries to invade here, you can try to block it somewhat here, and then the wall will actually be a really good wall for this particular stone, and vice versa. If somebody tries to invade here, you will simply let him have some area over here that will make a wall here that will be pretty good for here. So one way or the other, you will get a really big area over here, all here. That seems to be a good possibility.
But won't P17 be a better one for that also? Because if you are in
P17, yeah, P17 will be a better for the enclosure for sure. But like considering
extension to the left.
Yeah, extension for the basically like if you do the P17, then I can try to I can attack much more severely on this side in this area.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
At least it seems like. I'm not sure. I really am not sure. These things are something for that like these things are something which we all need to learn as well. We all need to practice. It would be really nice if some Dan players can comment on these kind of things. Anyway, so the basic learnings you can all think again, like simply urgent then big, and then like right now seems like urgency is for enclosing different corners for maybe, right? So that the other person cannot invade too severely, let's say, right? That's if you actually want to play a decently territorial game. Okay, whenever you are actually trying to focus on territory, right? This was another big learning from the last session. That is, think about the purpose of the move and how will you think about the purpose. Think the whole board strategy. Like, what are you trying to do in the whole board? What is that particular move accomplishing, right? So like one thing you can always you can always actually try to keep in mind that okay, which particular, like, are you playing territorially or you are actually putting more stress on influence, and vice versa for the other player as well. Okay, the opponent, whether he is actually playing territorial or the influence, right? Depending on that, your strategy will change a bit as well. Right now you might not be very good with handling influence, right? But at least try to think in that direction. Okay, that way your intuition for that particular kind of a play will improve. Okay, so if you are actually thinking in the terms of a bit territorial play, you would want to have good enclosures, right? So that okay, so you want to have some good enclosures so that you can have good territories there afterwards.
So you said that the bottom left can be, that's one point possible place to invade.
Bottom left, this?
Yeah.
Yes, for white, yes.
So that's like C3 or something like that.
Hey, there are a lot of points over there.
But between the bottom left and the bottom right, it's really one stone and one position difference. So if black had a stone at F3, the bottom
left and bottom right, yeah.
Yeah, if black had a stone at f3,
Mm-hmm.
right, the bottom left is more or less the same as
Yeah, this is even more open.
yeah, it's a little bit
See,
more open.
yeah, this is something that I actually realized. Like it, this is something that that took me a long while to realize as well. That actually just having this one stone difference
Huh.
is a very huge difference many a times.
I see.
Okay, very
It's
huge
very
difference.
specific to this situation, but in lots of cases this might not be an issue. But
No,
honestly,
yeah,
the fact that these knights moves are placed like this, right? This is
yeah,
actually considered bad shape. If you
yeah,
compare these three stones on the bottom right to the three stones on the top left is considered good shape, bottom right is considered bad shape, just from a shape perspective.
right.
I see.
Hmm.
And it's actually,
Because there are
because of what Gurmeet is mentioning, because there are places where potential invasion points are there,
Hmm.
because there are other ways that can be cut. Due to that, it's considered bad shape, basically. It
Right.
comes from,
So
reasons, basically.
yeah. So
but
for example, that one stone difference that we were talking about, right? That there is just one stone difference, right? So just consider those shape things, right? We have actually learned about shapes, like the difference between a tiger's mouth and an empty triangle is essentially one stone difference, right?
right.
When you are actually talking about proper shapes, then actually 1 point difference sometimes do matter, right? So it's for example, many a times in the review I am saying, okay, somewhere here you can play, somewhere here you can play, like many a times the reasoning is of this particular form. Okay, somewhere here should be the right move, let's say, right? Or somewhere like when I was saying that try to find a big move, I was like saying that okay, for the white, somewhere here or somewhere here is a good move because this is the bigger side, right? In these kind of cases, it was right that okay, like somewhere here this is already a really good way of reasoning. But when you are actually talking about these, like whether something is enclosing or not, these kind of things, then actually single move differences matter, because that actually critically depends on the shapes, right? So it's simply learning where which kind of reasoning is better. Okay, like whenever shapes are critical, then of course a single move differences might matter a lot, because like a single move difference can make or break a good shape. Okay. Tanishk message, wait, one thing. Yeah, okay. So Tanishk is actually saying that even when you make good enclosure shapes, even then the opponent seems to sometimes invade and seems to actually get the territory because you don't know the right sequences. Mm-hmm.
And all those sequences are all Joseki, is it? For
Yeah, not really, not always. Yeah, many of them are part of Joseki one way or the other, but not always. Like it's like when we are talking about invasions and enclosure shapes, right? That is not really Joseki, more like punishments, right? Basically, if there is an enclosure shape and then somebody still tries to invade you, that no, I'm doubting your skills and I'm gonna invade, then you just need to play the right set of moves and the opponent will die. That is the claim, right? Those like normally Josekis are defined as the set of moves which result in a symmetric outcome for both of the players,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
That's a very different kind of a thing that we are talking about here,
Yeah.
right?
Joseki, I guess you come out with more or less balance.
Right. Josekis most of the time comes out to be more or less balanced one way or the other. It doesn't has to be locally balanced. Most of the time it is not locally balanced, in fact. But there must be some kind of compensation if some particular player is not getting enough territory. Let's say he might be getting a lot of influence, or simply like one thing that Sashwat mentioned, I guess last to last um, discussion, that um, sometimes Joseki ends with Sante, and that itself is a big enough of a difference that makes the Joseki even for both players. right? So one way or the other, both of the players are gaining something of a different value, of the same value.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, nice, right? Okay, so there are all of the okay. Yeah, okay. So we talked about enclosures and all of this, right? Now let's just keep reviewing. So it seems like both of the players are like, okay, what is the purpose for this move? Let's say, Argya, you played this move, right? So can you try to explain what? Okay, before that, let me actually tell you, okay, for here, there was invasion points that I was talking about. Of course, this 3-3 is an invasion point. In fact, this 3-3 actually works here, right? Because this move is here. If this move was here, just one space below, then 3-3 is much harder to work out. Most of the time, it doesn't. You just black will just block on this side, and then 3-3 is actually much harder to like work out. Making a living group here is hard. But when the enclosure is with this large knight move, then 3-3 actually works. So 3-3 is working for white. This kind of like approach is okayish. Normally when you want to approach a particular corner, normally let's say if white approaches here, right, then the black would want to actually fix the corner. Let's say black fixes like this, and then you want to extend back. Okay, so like, but problem is for this particular extension, there was already a shoulder hit in place. So it seems like that, okay, this particular approach is not good because the sequence the continuation from that particular move is not in the white's favor, it seems. So normally, like, vaguely trying to read, okay, what might be the sequence which will happen, right? So that actually helps a lot, right? So a bit of a like very vague kind of a reading itself actually helps a lot. So this is, yeah. So Argya, you played this move, right? G3 is the move number 17. Can
Yeah.
you try to explain your thinking for actually playing that move? What were you thinking? Like, what was the purpose?
See, what I was basically trying. I mean, I had mentioned earlier also. I guess I was trying to, you know, enclose this bottom side. So, for example,
Mhm.
starting from A7, A7, C7, A7, C7 to here, like along the sixth or the seventh line. Okay, and I was kind of trying to create a structure so that if Rishi tries to invade anywhere, I would have an alternate place through which I can link all these. So that's why
Right.
I kept it below. So what happens is, there at the bottom side, like in rows 1 or 2, Rishi won't have much space to enter because I can kill him. And
Right.
if so, Rishi will either have to play at the third row or Rishi will have to play at the fourth row. So if he plays at the
Mhm.
fourth row, then below I will try to capture.
Mhm.
So at the third row, I will try to capture it. I mean, not capture. I mean, I will try to connect it or create a shape like that. So that's why I played it at third row.
Right.
And
Okay.
and if you were asking like why it's at G and not at F, this was basically try to just be equidistant from both the points.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So this particular thing that you were talking about, that okay, like basically it seems like that it was intentional that you played a few fourth line and a few third line moves, right? So
Yes.
so that you can have a good claim on the side. It is a really important learning. Okay, it is a very important learning when you actually like start developing the side. You normally never want all the stones on the fourth or all the stones on the third line. Having all the stones on the third line is also not good. You are actually claiming a really small part of the no, small part of the site, and all the moves on the fourth line is not good because it's actually really open for the opponent to invade. Right. So
Yes, and one of the reason also is, for example, if I am at third and fourth row, and also there is like two-step difference. So let's say Rishi plays somewhere around. If Rishi played at J3, let's say. So if Rishi played at J3, then I can play at H4, and then
J3 for right now J3.
yeah, like you have the white one right now. Let's if
Yeah, like
Rishi
here.
tries to invade, yeah, if Rishi tries to invade here, for example.
This is actually pretty hard move to invade.
I
Okay.
know. I'm just explaining
Why?
my thought process.
Yeah, yeah, okay, okay.
It's
So
not that hard to invade that, honestly. E3 is a very good. J3 is also a good invasion point.
yeah.
J3 is a
So in that case, what I would do is I would probably play H4. Now, if I play H4, no, no, you can click J3. Yeah, just click it here. The white button will
like
come.
this.
Yeah. Yes. Now, what is happening is he can try to cut here, and but I would then yeah this way I will create a structure.
Hmm.
And then if then Rishi can try to play, for example, at h5 to block me, but that will not give him, and that will be completely valueless for him. Yeah, this won't be much useful for him.
Hmm.
And if he
What will you play if he plays
and
here?
yeah, and if Rishi doesn't play at j3, let's say, then
Hmm.
Rishi doesn't play, then I will actually have a couple of 2-3 options to link those stones. So that's why I try to play above below like that, because that also, that first that helps to create a quick link, and also it can confuse the person why what I'm trying to do.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that is a like as you are on the right track that okay, having the stones on the third and the fourth line both is important for a good claim on the territory. So on the site, basically site territory. Hmm. That is true. Okay, so that's a good motivation overall, but that still leaves this 3-3 open, right? If this 3-3 actually gets
Yes.
invaded, if, white will have territory over here somewhere. Like there'll be a white line somewhere here, right? And there'll be a small territory which like white is not gaining much territory, but like white is reducing a lot of territory from the blacks claim, right?
Yes, but there is also one point. If you are even creating a territory over there, if you don't have two eyes and I'm able to block off an area over you, then those stones are basically dead.
Yeah, territory means having two eyes.
Yeah. So, okay. So I still played there because, my main motive at that time was to having more influence, because, Rishi was not going after this corner. So if he had, then
Okay.
probably I would have focused.
Right.
So this was
Okay,
more of
okay.
a reactive approach to play, rather than, because Rishi was not targeting this corner.
Hmm.
So I was just trying to increase influence over the rest of the part.
Right. Yeah, so basically like for this kind of a play where you already have like um trying to figure out hmm, yeah, so having a particular goal in mind, okay, what kind of a play you want, right? It's nice, right? But do try to have some flexibility as well.
Mhm.
It if it turns out that okay, the claim that the way you want the boat to be, it seems like that it's going to be a bit hard to actually get that, then just change your strategy a bit.
Sure, sure, man. That is obvious,
Hmm.
obviously.
Okay, right. Mm-hmm. That is good. Why? Um, Why didn't you play it here? Rishi?
So at that time, that's a good question. I don't know what I was thinking that.
Like somewhere
So to me, it
somewhere
always
here is actually here.
when
Yeah.
I get into these close combat things, right?
Hmm.
It always feels to me that if I play a shape that is
What?
this,
Okay.
it
So black, the Argya, right?
right.
Yeah.
So Arjun then big. Do you think like okay? This seems doesn't it seems to be urgent right now? Right now, White is not alive, right? But if you actually do give him like extra moves, then White will live, right?
Okay, the question is for me or Rishi?
You, yeah.
Okay.
All black, right? Right now, like having this particular instead of playing somewhere else. Do you do you see that this particular area
Yeah.
actually urgently needs a move, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm really not sure why I didn't play there immediately.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
One reason could be, did I play somewhere on that A18 A19
Yeah,
area?
you played S8 instead of this.
F8. Okay.
Yeah, instead of answering somewhere here, you played S8, this one, and then he answered like this. Okay.
I think only one thing that comes to my mind is I was trying to relieve pressure from this area.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing what here is White responded with R9. That was also not really required.
Yes,
It
it
would be
wasn't
better
required.
for White to play B8
Hmm.
or something like that.
Yeah, basically continuing on this side. White should simply continue. Like basically, if the opponent has made a mistake, simply think again, like urgent then big, right? If you are realizing that opponent had an urgent move over here, like opponent should have responded here. That was urgent for the opponent, and opponent didn't actually play that particular move. Then you should actually take advantage of it, right?
So,
Hmm.
but
So
you
this
can ignore
particular
that attempted invasion over there.
this
Yeah.
right now this
Just
is
think of it.
bleeding.
Just think of it this way, right, Rishi? If you played C8, you knew that C8 was important. Now, and if you're playing the game properly, we also have the assumption that this is the most important thing on the board right now.
Hmm.
Right.
If my opponent is going ahead and saying I don't care,
Hmm.
my mind is still that this is the most important thing right now. Unless my opponent's moves make me reevaluate that, oh shit, I didn't notice this was also important.
Exactly. So think of it like this: if the opponent is actually ignoring the area where you were saying that this is the important area, and you play that opponent actually played somewhere else, right? That is sometimes a reminder call to actually evaluate again that whether I actually evaluate this area correctly. Is it actually the most important area, or
And
this new
if
move is more
you
important?
believe that
Hmm?
yeah, and if you believe that it is the most important area,
Hmm.
then that opponent is played at an important place.
You're
At which point you can ignore that and continue to play the more important area.
Shashwat, your voice is breaking.
So sure, yeah. In any case, let me repeat what he was saying. He was essentially saying if it's not the most important area, then you should answer the opponent's move somewhere else. Otherwise, if you do evaluate and it turns out this was the most important area, then you should actually continue with with your attack. Is there anything else that you want to add, Ashwat?
No, not really. What I was just saying was then because you know that B8 is the most important area, then you know that S8 is not the most important area. So
Exactly.
it's safe to ignore one move in a less important area for one move in a more important area.
Exactly.
And I think
Right.
Tanishq also has a question in the chat. Gurmeet,
Wait.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll see. Wait. Yeah. Yeah. Tanish.
He's saying that Arya seems to answer peeps with a 1 point jump.
J4, J4 would have been better, right? J4. Okay, J4 instead of G3. What?
No, I was actually talking about his message later. J4 he was talking about an invasion point instead of J3.
Okay, J3 invasion. Okay, J4 invasion. Okay.
J4 would be a good reduction point. I think the J3
Yeah,
invasion works. Honestly,
J3. Yeah,
uh,
I'm not really that good in invasion, so I am actually being a bit more conservative here. I'm not sure whether I'll be able to live with J3 invasion. I think I should be able to. It seems like J3 should work.
maybe with M4 it's a little difficult now, but
Yeah, with M4 it should be very difficult. But in the earlier situation I'm talking about, like
yeah.
where there was such a big, like for example, for me the invasion point would have been M3 earlier.
Okay.
Because I am actually risking, okay, if you don't stop me here, then I will actually convert that into a reduction by jumping.
Anyway, ठीक है.
Oh,
So here,
what is the word you said? You'll convert it into a reduction.
Reduction, yeah, like basically instead, like reduction is simply like, for example, playing somewhere here would have been a reduction, because like if the black encloses somewhere here, then the white has reduced the territorial claim over there.
Arge, just think of it this way. Let's assume that instead of S8 you had played B8, and let's assume that the shape was fine and all of that. Let's not get into that. Then what would have happened is that those 3 stones would have pushed into your territory. Earlier
Yeah.
you were claiming, 4th line, 5th line territory in that area. Now in some places you've been brought down to 3rd line and 2nd line. So what he has done is he's reduced the potential of your framework. Your framework was giving you 5th line, now it's giving you 3rd line in some places.
Okay.
That is what a reduction is.
Okay.
And invasion is he just decides that, I want to live in your territory. So then a lot of your territory goes away. Invasions are in general much more severe.
Right.
But reductions are a good way to play because invasions are not always possible. So it's always a balance of invasions and reduction.
And what is a peep? I mean, Tanishq mentioned that word peep. What does it mean?
So peep is essentially like, let's say there is some gap, right, and
We'll
then
go a couple moves back. No, I think there was a peep. That's what Tanishq was referring to. Here, this one.
this, yeah. So there is.
Oh, this is not.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it should be called a peep. Like peep would have been like basically by black playing here, he actually converted it into a peep. Yeah, so like normally.
Yeah, Tanish, D8 is technically a shoulder hit.
Yeah.
Because black played C9, now it's become a peep.
Yeah. Now it looks
but
like
yes,
a peep.
playing C8 is very severe.
It would have been called a peep if there were these 2 black stones already and white would have played here. Okay, so
for example, if white played L3 right now, that would be a peep.
L3, right? L3 here, yeah. This or L5.
Whatever, L3, L5.
Right. This would have been a peep. Yeah. Right. Okay.
So, Arya, that's basically what a peep is. A peep is basically, someone saying, you know what, I'm going to cut you. But black has a chance to respond. For example, in this particular situation, even B5 would be a peep. Or B6, for example. Because it's not cutting at C6, but it's saying, if you don't play there, I will cut you at C6 and I will be strong there.
Okay. So that is what a peep is.
A peep is basically something that is setting up a cut.
Okay.
Okay. And other B8. Okay.
No, you can go
Yeah,
ahead.
so Tanishq is also saying C8 would have been better. It seems C8 would have been better. Actually, to me also it seems C8 would have been a bit better. But can you actually comment on it, Shashwat? Like, what do you think? Which one, like C8 or the C9? Like, Argya played C9. I think C8 would have been better. Tanishq? Like, is there any proverb or anything that you can remember?
See, C8 would be fine. No, C8 would be fine because you're going to be able to connect underneath.
Yes.
You can't double Aane or anything.
Right.
That's why C8 would be fine. In cases where the space is a little more, maybe it would be more urgent to play the 2-space extension.
Right. Yeah.
From
But here there are these two stones, right? So I do not think that C8 is I do not think that C9 is necessary here. C8
is
like having a bit more solid.
I think C9 isn't even connected.
Yeah, C9
Yeah.
right now it doesn't seems connected. Like even after playing this, right?
Yeah.
I do not wait.
Other cut.
How will you do it?
Start with the other cut, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, there. Oh,
no,
this
but
is
then black can just connect on the other side and give a small reduction, right?
ladder. What? Yeah.
I would not play B6. I would play B9.
B9 like this.
Yeah, that way white gets a reduction, but black keeps the side.
Right. Yeah, that would have been nice.
But I need to think C9 is almost like white peeped and black didn't respond, so it's like it has to be bad shape.
Yeah. But then again, it's so close to the bound, like to the edge that, near the edge, rules actually starts changing, right? So.
Yeah.
But still, like having not responding to this does actually seems very severe. Like somewhere here would have been nice. Okay. And not responding to this, like this is urgent right now. It needs to be answered. Playing somewhere else is not good.
Okay.
Okay. What is happening here? Okay. So, in all of these, like there are a lot of like what are the better ways to answer kind of questions. Like for example, this particular move, right? It would have been. It seems better to. No, wait. Yeah. It's not working. No, it's good. So I was actually thinking to blocking this way. This doesn't seem to be good right now because of this too. Amazing. What is like okay? There is again like the same learning. It seems like that the moves are getting ignored, like urgent moves. This is urgent right now. This move was urgent. Somehow, like containing this, because like this actually can, like this is already living now. This is living, and it can actually put a lot of pressure over here as well.
So even though you say it's living, so black can right now black could play on S3 on
S3.
Yeah.
S3 like black right now. Black right now it's the white's move and then black. Okay, let's say like this.
Yeah. So that white's not necessarily living, right?
I do not think
supposed
that.
To be a go. If in this double enclosure white plays 3/3, it's supposed to be a go.
Okay, this is in this particular enclosure.
Yeah.
And what is the sequence? Do you remember?
Yeah. Okay. So R3
or S3. What will be the answer?
S3. I don't really think is that good because white just
It
plays
should
S4
be
and
living, right?
yeah, white just plays S4 and can kill that.
But S4, you'll if you play S4, you'll probably still give him
like if black 3 S. Yeah.
How will you answer? Rishi, you were saying that black might be able to kill white, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think? How should you answer?
How to answer this?
Yeah, black's move.
Oh,
Let's just try to play this, na. Let's
Okay.
let's just see if this actually
So-
works out.
mm,
Q2.
Q2.
no,
Okay.
R2.
R2.
S2.
Hmm?
Yeah, just S2.
What? S. What did you say, Pranjal?
No, I meant white S2 only. The same.
Okay. Right. Okay. I didn't have. Okay, so now what?
So now, Q3.
Q3. This one. Let's say this.
Yeah.
R5.
That would kill black.
R5.
R5 like this.
Yeah.
Now this is living, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Q2 should not be white should not be allowed at Q2.
So I think that should work. Is it working? That's for sure, but what do you think, Pranjal? Is it working, this 8 move?
Yeah, it seems to be fine. Seems to. A black S3 is just asking too much, I think.
S3. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you want to kill it, start with S4 at least.
Yeah, like this?
Yeah.
And
More.
then let's say this.
Let's say. Yeah.
That is actually something that will,
White will have to go out basically.
yeah,
Like
basically, yeah.
E4,
It doesn't seem like it will.
R4.
What? P12.
Yeah, by
Even here itself, like after this, I guess white needs to play
yeah.
something like this.
Guys, I need to drop off. My game has been scheduled.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Please keep on. I'll watch the recording later.
So
Yeah,
in this sequence that you just played, isn't there enough space underneath white now? It's definitely not yet closed, but there seems to be enough space that it can form two eyes, right?
No. Like right now, to me, it doesn't seem like enough space, because mainly like
Points,
if
right?
you like basically if you try to fix here, because then black is like, sorry, black is doing something like this, and if you are actually trying to fix here, then black is capturing this,
Okay.
right? So in both of the cases, it doesn't seem like you have enough space. So you have to do something.
S3 didn't work either.
After black 7 you can just kill that stone, so
Like this, yeah. Then of course there is more chance. That's a living group. Sorry. Okay, so that is working. Like then black should have played, I guess, this instead. then this seems to be enough space. But
Yeah, this is enough space. Q1.
I guess that's why you were saying co-8 might.
R1. R1 now. Oh no, never mind.
What?
No, sorry, I misread.
This is not living. This is not living as well. This is not the right answer, is it?
I doubt. I guess.
Nope, that's also dead. I guess this is the code that you might be talking about.
No, the normal
Matlab,
sequence starts with
yeah,
R.
not basically this might be one of the possible codes in that sequence.
The usual core sequence just starts at R4 instead of S4.
Okay.
Like I'm
So,
pretty sure we're just misplaying it. It should be alive after S4.
After S4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably. Yeah,
What
it should
if
be something like this.
something like this?
Yeah.
Like yeah, this seems like the no, it seems like alive. Yeah. From S4 it seems like white is alive.
Yeah.
S3 seemed like it was asking too much, like playing S4 would kill it. So R4 is the
I didn't
code
follow
you
that
are
now.
saying.
So I didn't follow.
R4
You're saying
Q.
S3 white would be alive?
S3 seems like black is asking too much. Basically, he'll get killed.
Okay.
No, that's not. That's not.
No, we
Continue.
have a different variation.
What? This is continue. Like this?
White 4 at. Yeah, that works.
Hmm?
No, that doesn't. Does it?
That doesn't seems to work.
I think white 4 should be at R4.
R white 4 should be R4. Okay, yeah, that's what I was about to do, right? Back. That's why I went back.
Yeah.
But okay. Is it alive? It doesn't seems to be.
Should be. Okay, just suppose white S4.
S4.
Yeah, S2, right?
S2, yes.
R4.
R4.
What does that mean? Q3.
Q3. Oh shoot! Oh yeah, white actually went out.
White just gets out.
Right.
And like probably the black right thing dies. So this is like horrible for black.
Yeah, that is horrible for black. Sorry, I didn't realize that it was actually getting really close to the. Yeah. Okay. So he has to play something like this.
Yeah, now Q2.
Yeah. Then it's done for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then it's done for. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that is true. That S3 is asking too much. It seems. S3 is asking too much. Okay. This would have been the best sequence if you like. That's what you were saying, right?
Yeah. After this, Q3,
Okay, Q3 like this.
P3,
P3.
S4, S5, S2. If you connect white ties, yeah, T4, T3.
This is the go. Okay, this is a particular sequence that I should remember, I guess. Wait, let me. Yeah, okay, I'll try to remember this. Yeah. Yeah, so basically, as it seems that this particular closure that we were talking about, that this does not encloses the corner properly, right? So if you play the 3-3, the best black can do is result in a ko. And it seems like that result is obtained by playing this sequence of moves. Let's see if I remember the sequence. So this sequence will lead to a ko. That is the best black can do. Black has contained white, and white is still not completely living.
And is there any advantage to? I guess there's advantage is that white has not made any territory, but meaning it will go.
Yeah. Basically, if the let's say black played somewhere, and white thinks that he doesn't has to respond. For this, it seems like white should. But if white decided not to respond, then white will make a living group over here.
Okay.
Right. Ko is always like you can say ki ko is half life essentially, like very close to life. You just need one more move and you will make a living group. So black has to be always on his toes that okay, never give us extra move to you.
Okay.
Right. This reading went lengthy. Okay, this whole game now is cluttered with branches. Okay. So see, like from almost this point onwards, it seems like that it's actually getting a bit hard to read what are the urgent moves, where the reply is actually needed. Otherwise, the loss is just too big. For example, right now here, the black's response to this move was actually needed, and because this response was needed for like for like from this point, like right now, white's best choice is to actually respond here, not here.
And response on the left hand side would say something like C6 be a good enough.
C6. C6 seems like a good move. This seems like good.
So why did you jump there instead? So you just jump.
In fact, I guess
Yeah.
I guess this it can be squeezed a bit more. No. Yeah, this would have been a pretty like now. I do not think that now. I do not think these are alive. These can't live simply.
But do you think that the white group, the 1579, can actually live?
1579 what?
Yeah.
This one? Yeah, that's why I actually extended one more here.
So you
Because
extended it.
here it wouldn't have lived because there are only 3 liberties and 3-3 fight. Black
So
has
just go to
black is
the-
starting.
fine
just go to the
actually.
position?
Like
Yeah,
B4.
B. Hmm.
Yeah, now
Yeah,
black
there's.
has too few liberties.
Yeah. Liberty.
Could you just go
This
back to
is
the position you were in, where you had extended the white?
this.
Yeah, you extended that tree further down, right?
Hmm. So like this.
Um,
What?
was this the position? I think
No,
black had,
I considered this.
yeah,
So
and then
I just
you
did
placed,
this
yeah.
and then
So
this and
now
this.
this white group has only 3 liberties.
But it is just too close to the edge, right? It will actually make very easily one eye, and then all the shared liberties will be
So if black were to play on C2,
B2.
C2.
yeah,
Then this,
okay.
right? So right now it seems like if, white has like lesser liberties than
Yeah,
black, but
black has a lot of liberties.
4 liberties only.
Yeah.
White has 3 liberties, it seems, but it is actually close to the edge, right? So it's very hard to actually fill these liberties. So effectively, white has a lot more.
But black liberties are also close to the edge. Oh, but it can't make
Right.
life anyway.
Right, black can't make eyes out of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, as he.
But I suppose if black had crawled along B, then it would potentially could have more eye space, right? So you started
Like
over.
this.
Yeah.
Even without it, like this.
Yeah.
I do not think that's a good idea. I don't think that's a good idea. Nope. Nope. In fact, like this actually will go even bad. Yeah, that's not. I'm not really sure which sequence will be best here, but it doesn't seems like a good idea to leave this cut. Basically, this cut seems like just too bad. Because there are these 4 stones as well. Their health is also important, so I'm not sure the sequence that I did was a good one or not. Because it's actually is putting so.
Over here, you can just take those 3 stones in a ladder.
From here, sorry.
Yeah.
Like
And then
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is also. Yeah, because white has ladder, then this is actually pretty nice as well. Yeah, but overall, it seems like leaving this cut seems like a really bad idea. Very bad. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, like somewhere like this particular move that you suggested, that itself would have been a good response. So overall, do not think he exactly like. Of course, nobody is reading this much during the game, right? But overall, the thing is that there are just 2 severe cuts, and like this seems like that there must be something that can be gained over here, right? Nobody is reading this much, right? The amount that we read here, nobody is reading like that. It's just that it doesn't seem like that white can, like, for example, if black responds here, if black would have responded here like this, let's say, this, let's say, right? Even, sorry. Not really a good one, but anyway. So like this now, black is pretty damn solid here, there as well, right? And you have to like then jump out somewhere, jump out to actually uh, get to something like, or either make something living or connect to some living group. But if if the sequence which was got played, this was also not the right move. It's not putting enough stress on the attacking stones. You should put a bit more stress on these. It's way more urgent to put more stress here.
So the white original D8 move is not really ideal if black had played C8.
Yeah, D8. You're saying that D8 is not good because it has a good response here, is it?
Yeah, right. Because after that, I suppose I could cut right there. I could Hane and say C9, because that diagonal path will lead to
C9.
yeah. Oh, okay. I don't have a. Yeah.
I guess this is still doable. Don't know.
Because the other path.
Yeah, it's hard.
Connect.
Hard. It's hard.
Connect to C12 if you let him.
See, wait, what? C12?
So the other path that you played earlier pretty much gives the left edge, gives black a solid position on the left edge. So if you play,
Yeah.
if you played.
Okay, what just happened? Okay, so you're saying okay, like this, and then.
No, yeah, I'm saying that. Yeah.
Then, yeah, even if you cut, then you black can choose to do exactly choose to have exactly the same result.
Okay.
That result is that result is again there, right?
Right.
This is not good. Yeah, it doesn't seems like white should Hane here. I think white should just extend a bit.
Yeah, but even if white extends, I suppose black will still will still build that line on
this. Yeah, white will build. So you're saying that you want something more severe to attack.
Yeah, maybe the original D8 was too weak.
For example, something like this. Yeah, that's a good option. Yes.
That might
also because that okay, there is a cut here.
Yeah.
Horse shape is all knight's move is cuttable.
Right.
Right. So nice. This is going nice. Okay, so there were a lot of urgent moves that got missed. Right. I guess we have. Yeah, it is very close to the end of the sequence that you guys have played. So, for example, this move, it's again like going for the big, like as I told earlier, like as the middle game starts, as the game starts actually progressing into the middle game, right? Then this particular thing that okay, focus on urgent before big, that actually becomes very relevant. And in this particular example itself, you can actually start seeing okay, the urgent moves were getting ignored, and for example, this one in this it was essentially urgent was getting ignored for the big. Right. So as I told in the start of today's session, that urgent should be played first, right? And in the middle game, urgent getting missed for the big is common mistake. Okay, I guess that is all for this particular review.
So we'll just continue playing further on, right?
Yeah, I guess there are a lot of things that you guys can actually try to exploit in each other's positions. Yeah, I'm not really sure how good was it to actually discuss till the very end of the game. But anyway, it will be a fun game anyway for you guys to continue.
No, I think it's okay because assuming now, I think it's white to play or black to play. I'm not sure.
Yeah, white to play. You need to play the move.
So even if we discuss, there are plenty of other areas that
yeah.
Can play.
Yeah.
I'm not actually convinced. Like you said, C6 will result in a good position. To me, it looked like it's okay, but it's not like white's going to make eyes. Black to make eyes either.
White seems to be like, see, the thing is that before these two moves, this particular position was very good for white because there was just too much potential for ladder.
Okay.
Okay, that is not a thing that I was actually trying to look into for this particular review, because like at your level, like reading ladders and actually focusing on ladders is hard, right? But like as we actually saw in this reading, there were just too many ladders which were actually in white's favor, right? So because
Right.
of that, here white was actually exceptionally good. It was already a good reduction move because of this extension instead of normal, because of this 1 point extension instead of solid extension. This actually became a good invasion as well here, like
Right.
having these two moves being so loose, this and this became a good invasion move as well. So mm, even if you just want, if you are just reducing it, it will be a really good reduction as well, because of the ladders.
So you asked why did I play D7 and why not B8?
D7.
So yeah, so white played D7 after this, right?
Right.
I said why
Yeah,
not
yeah,
extend further?
D7, like D7 itself is good. Like D7, like I guess something like this would have been better. Don't know, but D7 is also good. D7 is actually is actually like putting stress on this and saying, okay, I'm gonna cut it.
Right.
What do you want? So yeah, it's a good move.
Okay.
Like after that, black not responding is not good
Okay.
for sure. It's also like hmm, it's also like if you are actually putting stress on this one stone, you can actually try to gain at least one eye somewhere here, somewhere
But
here.
I think D7 is actually doing that as well. If you actually think about it, D7
Mhm.
is preventing black from connecting. It ensures that the cut stays. Because if black connects,
Yeah. Okay, so you are saying that, okay, first play this and then whatever black answers, then white still has the option to
yes.
do any of this.
Black answer,
Yeah,
so that white just drop down or something.
yeah, exactly, right. Yeah, that is of course a good option. Yeah. So like in any case, like as Sashur actually mentioned, like this is also good from this particular move perspective as well, because this seems to be forcing, because like black needs to fix this. Black can't like try to protect this. It will be not good,
Right. Right.
right? So like black needs to fix this, and still for white this particular choice will be open, right? So though they didn't respond, but anyway, these kind of things happens. I am. I really was okay. So this um,
Yeah, you're also Tenuki is not a good idea, honestly.
exactly, like it's not a good idea. Um,
With
it's a bit
some moves, now the corner is blacks. It's not white.
yeah. It's all, and also the corner is like pretty big. Also, this wall is of no use. Also, these like this particular cut is very severe.
Hmm.
It's like it's not good. Can you see? You have to protect this cut.
Right. Right.
Otherwise, if black actually cuts here, then these stones actually will be in a pretty high danger.
Right.
So yeah, this wall is useless. This cut is severe. This corner is just too big
So
Um,
what would have been the right response to an invasion like that?
So, no, what you were doing is fine. You just shouldn't Tenuki. Tenuki means play away from the local
Yeah.
situation. You should just continue playing out here. This move is
urgent, yeah, urgent moves. These seems to be urgent moves.
Okay. Okay.
honestly the same rule, right? Urgent before big.
Yeah.
It keeps continuing. There's no real stop to when urgent. I mean, urgent before big is the same principle that a Dan level player will be using. Same principle a 5Q
Yeah,
will be using. Same
just-
principle a 25Q will be using.
Right.
Just about understanding urgent better. That's where things.
Yeah, I guess at this point, to me, for example, when Black played S8, right? You said there is no real need to respond.
Yeah, because
I
that's
said it's not because okay, this is a very different situation. No, like I said, would have been an urgent move if there wasn't situation like that.
Yeah, effectively, there
it's
is
the
a
same thing, right?
potential
Gurmeet?
more
There's a
urgent.
bigger move on the board.
Yeah, exactly. There is much more urgent move right now. This situation like needs to be settled first. This is the biggest area right now.
Okay.
So, for example, like think of it like this: from the Black perspective, this was urgent, right? And he didn't play it urgent, so now for you, this is the big,
Right.
right?
Okay.
This is very big now for you,
Okay.
right? Much bigger than what you are losing here.
Okay. And how do you say it's bigger than what I'm losing? So that's where I'm not able to.
Okay, see, okay, just let's just say, okay, you played something severe here, and you were able to, like, you were able to get something living
Okay.
down here, okay, which is actually which is actually very possible now. What will be the most severe thing that Black can do? What you can actually think is White might need to end up in Gote. White might need to end up playing the last move now, after which Black can play somewhere else, losing this ante basically.
Other than that, I think an easier thing will be just what's the worst case scenario if Black plays a second move?
Yeah, that's what I was saying, right? Basically, if the Black actually plays the next move over here, then what will be the worst then Black can do to you?
Worst
Right.
scenario,
So
it will take like these two stones. If you're thinking very, very aggressively, these two stones will be floating.
But
These two?
also the area under those two stones, right? If
Correct.
Black were to play
Yeah,
a-
that is gone.
Correct. But
Yeah,
now,
that
if
is-
you continue out here on the left hand side, you are potentially taking those three stones on the top
Hmm.
and
These.
capturing all of them,
Uh-huh. Okay.
right? So the potential of that is much higher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, like in this particular case, none of your stones are actually getting so much into danger that they are in urgent need. Okay.
No, the stones are not in danger,
these-
but if
Yeah, but here his stones will be in danger after this sequence.
Black invades,
They won't have much space left because this particular move was also available already, right? In the very start, we did actually discuss that this move was available.
Hmm.
But right now is not the right time. That's what we talked about earlier, right? That during the first opening part, this was not the right time. But when you are actually attacking, then you can exploit these cuts. Right? It will be very.
on the right, if Black were to play S10, oh sorry, R10, not S10, R10.
10. Okay, you played, let's say, like this, and he completely ignores you and do this.
Right. So I can continue my battle on the left,
Here.
right? Take that.
Now it doesn't seems like now it seems like that you should respond here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Black can force me to come back there, but he would have lost more territory on the left, or he would have lost
Exactly.
more influence on the left.
Yeah, territory is the right word, I guess.
Okay.
Territory, lose more territory over here. Yes.
Okay.
Good. Yeah, I guess then should we finish today's session, or should I like today? It's already 6 o'clock now.
Yeah, I think it's good to finish here. Me and Darkia will play a few more this week, and then maybe we could come back. I don't know how much longer. I mean, really nice of you guys to keep this up. So we'll try and see if we can play most of the game out.
Yeah. So like again, like try to think about those specific learnings that we talked about. Simply urgent before big. That thing is really important. And second thing is every move should have a purpose. Right. Think of the purpose. What is the purpose that the other opponent's move is like fulfilling, and what purpose do you want to fulfill with your move? Right.
Right.
Try to think in those terms. Okay. So,
Okay.
for example, what is the purpose of this black move? Right now, hmm, right now, I do not actually see any good purpose. What
I think
is
what
what
he
is it?
mentioned was that he's trying to create a
Yeah, box here.
the center.
More, yeah, it's fine. I mean, ideally there are slightly more urgent moves as well,
Hmm.
but
But like what I'm saying is that okay, if he actually wants to build a box over here, this wall is not protected anymore, right? This wall needs to be fixed.
Yeah, but I think what he's trying to do is along from H10 to and bottom right, he's trying to essentially say that's the wall he's building. Right?
yes. So
H10
he's trying that. It's
See-
definitely what his mind is. I would personally have put it somewhere at 07 if I had to do that. Because I think playing
Uh,
10 is very ambitious.
Okay.
He's basically saying, you know what, I want 1/3 of the board in this one move.
Okay.
mhm.
Especially
That
with
means
your
presently there are
two-
spaces inside that can just be occupied. Right. You're saying it's too big envelope.
Yeah, so the term for this is an overplay. This is an overplay if that's what he's going for.
Hmm.
Okay.
It obviously
So-
depends on what my motive is and objective is. If this is setting up something else, for example, then it might not be an overplay for that purpose. But if its purpose is to take the entire, bottom center of the board, then it's an overplay.
So basically, because white actually can attack these sides,
At
as
any
well.
point of time, yes.
It's just too far. Something like this, maybe.
Okay.
You don't really need those many moves. White can directly play 08 or something like that.
Yeah, but it's pretty like easy to see that okay, all of these are safe. And I guess it would have been better to exploit this cut. I don't know how to. No, this is not working. Sashut, can you see any way to actually exploit this RG?
Go back to the starting point.
Like in this situation, what might be the most severe way to actually attack these two stones? Let's say.
Pranjal?
Pranjal, can
That
you?
idea.
No idea.
So why is
This seems
R5?
like that it's actually making black stronger necessarily.
So
That
what
doesn't
about R5?
X5 sets up the cut.
S5 like this.
R5.
Yeah.
R5, sorry. Okay, R5. R5 seems to be
No, I would play the other side. Just Atari it from S. Yeah. Right. This is quite bad for white.
this is very bad for white.
I would just fix the shape it with that. No, this doesn't work. Oh, this works. Okay.
This
But I would play S6 instead of. Yeah, but this actually works better. No, this doesn't work. This sets up the net.
you would have played here.
I would have played here.
That's you need to fix this as well, no? Like otherwise, like doing
Let
This
white play
doesn't-
the corner.
and you will gonna have this like this.
Maybe I don't know. I mean, it depends. Okay, we can because this sets up a lot of the left hand side. But yeah,
This corner seems like pretty nice for white. Yeah, but still it seems like overall white is actually like white seems to it seems like white can explore this particular side Like basically this RG and these cuts, these can be played in whites.
What I was reading out was S5 because S5 ends up being a forcing move. Not
S5 like this.
yeah, because otherwise the cut works at R7, S7, sorry.
Yeah, this cut. Okay. Yeah, right. Basically, you have to fix this.
And now actually white is settled. White can focus somewhere else. White doesn't need to bother. White has the a big enough corner.
I guess this might be the best way to answer this right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's so light and it's actually like settling everything with one move.
And yeah, and then white goes ahead and plays something like O8 or P8 if white wants to. No, not
Wait.
O8, P8, yeah.
That is, yeah, that is a good move. Yeah, then that will put a lot of stress here.
So basically I've settled in the corner. I have reduced white, and actually the potential cutting point at R5 becomes severe.
Hmm.
If black doesn't do anything, let's assume black 10 keys, then white can play R5 and that becomes very simple.
Right. Like black 10 keys, white R5. This is severe. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean to what I can see. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know whether
Yeah, it seems like something very like basically either it will actually hurt this a lot, right? It will be dead, or if it actually manages to like live down here, but how will it?
no. My question is, can those white stones survive? Because they die now.
Yeah, here they are dying.
So it'll have to be one more push out there, and then black can probably escape.
Even then,
Yeah, no.
I can't. It seems like I have to keep extending for a while.
But then actually white might be in trouble more than black.
Yeah.
So maybe the cut doesn't work.
Hmm. Okay. No. Needs to be fixed here.
No, the net works. You don't need to do that.
But not here.
No. One
Okay.
push and
Yeah. Hmm.
no, that doesn't work because of the P4 space. No, white will play P4.
P4. P4. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Right.
So then black, this net doesn't work. So black will have to play what you were playing earlier.
This.
Yeah.
And then this. Yeah. It seems okay. Like Rishi, like you might be getting confused that okay, we are reading so many things, right? So overall, now after all of this reading, most probably what is going to happen is that we'll just remember some kind of a general feel that okay, whatever we actually overall read seems like this was leading to something good for white. When the other moves will get played, then we'll be playing something here.
Right. I mean, clearly,
Right.
you can't
Not
read. You can't read.
yeah, like normally a really lengthy reading, like not always result in the exact sequence that is going to get played or anything.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just that okay, this particular seems like very bad for black right now. This seems like okay, there is something good for white, and the white can gain something here. These kind of things. For black, I guess Arya actually went, so I'm not sure whether what he can gain from it. But for black, like this seemed like a really good point to continue, or somewhere here would have been really nice to continue. To actually like, but this is just too wide uh, of an area. Okay. Okay. Let's finish the session here. Okay.
All right.
Or there is anything else you want? Anybody want to ask? Okay. If there are no other questions, let's just meet next time.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
Thanks for
It's okay, guys. Nice to have this.
Yeah, it was a nice session overall. Okay. See
I
you
think
guys.
what we should do, maybe Gurmeet, next time, Pranjal,
Mhm.
Gurmeet, we can
Right.
try for something targeting like high level queues as well. Maybe
Yeah.
somewhere like purchase level and above or
Yes.
something like that.
Yeah,
Yes.
but what exactly? Like how should we like high level queues means around 9K or something or even higher.
I don't know. I mean, possibly around that level to start with.
9
Something that
10K.
will help everyone from 12Q and above.
But what kind of lesson? What do you actually? What are you thinking?
Akshay, you're roughly that rank, right? You're
Um,
11Q or
yeah,
something.
I'm around 11. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What do
So
you think? Which particular part do you need to like?
what
What will be good
uh,
to have a lecture on?
what would be really interesting for me? Fuseki.
Fusaki will be good. I guess shapes will be good. Like having
No,
a proper shape lecture review.
we've done shapes already.
Karan's
Yeah,
right, Gurmeet, but
A couple of sessions.
actually that was much more fundamental.
yeah, exactly. That was fundamental, and
Yeah,
the problem was that didn't actually went into some good review, right? Like having a good game review and trying to see okay how those actually shapes works out. That is pretty helpful.
Hey, the fallen poet. I don't. I mean, I don't know your name honestly.
Hello,
okay.
fallen
Anyway,
poet. Have you fallen yet or not? So okay, he hasn't landed. It seems. Okay. I so like Fusaki will be good, right?
look,
Like
yeah,
Chinese
I'm talking
Fusaki
from my
and low and high
perspective.
and those kind of things.
From my perspective, the Fuseki direction of play early game is my problem. I feel I'm
Hmm.
sort of okay. I can manage fighting a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm sure at my level, different people will have different weaknesses, different.
Right, right. Yeah, but Fusaki must be one of the things that is like that many of your level needs to improve.
I think
Yeah,
I need to improve in Fusaki.
Yeah, mine as well. Like,
So what I started doing is I started practicing just one Fusaki, the Shusaku Fusaki. I just
hmm,
keep doing that every time.
hmm.
Or try to basically.
Like yeah, I guess like as we normally approach Josakis, right? We just remember the few very basic Josakis, and then we try to understand the basic principles of how Josaki seems to result in good outcomes, right? For both of the parties, both of the players. Like those kind of overall understanding of Fusaki will be nice. Like having a few Fusakis remembered and then trying to figure out what are the good moves from the direction of play point of view.
Hmm.
yeah.
I
Right.
think
Look,
fallen poet is Soumya. He's posting on Telegram saying that he's just joined. He'll listen.
Yes, this is Mishomo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Soumya, I think you're a little late because we were actually trying to wrap up right now.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's good that you're also participating in this.
You do kung fu classes as well.
Yes, I learn as well as teach.
You teach. Okay, nice.
Yes,
Like where are you? Where do you teach?
in Kolkata.
Okay.
What is Kof?
What?
What classes does he take?
Kung fu. Kung fu.
Kung Fu.
Wing Chun Kung Fu.
Okay, okay.
Wing Chun. Nice. I used to practice kung fu as well. My like in like when I joined, like we had to choose some weapon. So my weapon of choice was bow staff and nunchuck. I still have nunchuck. I sometimes do practice it, but not very good.
I started in 2016.
Oh, nice. So you have been doing kung fu since then regularly.
Yeah, regularly.
Nice. I haven't done kung fu that much in last many years. I did it for 1 year almost.
Oh,
Yeah.
I joined on 29th February 2016 and got my first instructor certificate in October and started teaching since then.
October this year. Oh,
No,
last year.
I got the level 1 certificate on 2016's October.
Oh, shoots. Okay. So, okay. Mm-hmm.
And I got my international certificate on 2018's November.
Nice.
That was directly from Bruce
Shaolin.
Lee's teacher's son.
Oh, nice.
Oh, very
Wow.
Nice.
It's amazing.
But if I remember correctly, in India, there's only one temple which is affiliated with Shaolin, right? Kanishk.
No, no, no.
Shifu
This is
Kanishk.
not Shaolin Kung Fu. This is Wing Chun. You've seen the
Okay.
Ip Man movies, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So Ip Man's student was Wong Chunglun, who was also Bruce Lee's instructor, and his student and son is Wong Hong Chung, who is my teacher's teacher.
Okay. Wow, that's interesting. Wing Chun Kung Fu. I
Yeah.
learned Shaolin Kung Fu.
Ah.
I practice Shaolin a bit. In India, there is only one Shaolin
Yes, yes.
affiliated.
He's the only one legitimate. Even there are fake people in Kolkata using his name for
Oh,
the
okay.
past few
That's
years.
bad. Yeah, that's bad. There's only one legitimate, right? Kanishk
Yes,
in
yes.
Delhi, Noida.
He is the only one.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought to contact him because I wanted to buy a good bow staff in India. But at that time, when I was actually searching, there were no bow staffs or nunchucks available in India. Like, it's so bad. Like, there are no Go equipment you can find in. These bow staffs and nunchucks are so hard to find. It's, it's,
Even
that's,
for Wing Chun only has two weapons: the butterfly swords and the long pole.
uh-huh.
So we had to we had to make this custom.
Oh, nice. There, at least you have some contacts that you can actually get them made, right?
Yeah.
But now actually I searched, there were some bow staffs available on Amazon. I'm not sure how good they are. Nunchuck's quality was ridiculously bad. The nunchuck that I saw online, that was really bad. Wait, I do have one nunchuck from my earlier Kung Fu days, but the nunchucks available here were really bad.
Yeah, even for the Wing Chun wooden dummy, my Sifu got a gift from his first Wing Chun Sifu dummy. It was very good.
Uh-huh.
So I think back in 2019 we custom made one dummy, and the older one is still better than that.
Yeah, like somehow, like all of these, the nunchuck that I actually carry right now, the wood quality is so amazing. The wood quality and the overall the way it is made. It's yeah, like I can't find that good nunchucks here anywhere. Bow stuff I do want to buy. Don't have bow stuff right now. Anyway, I'm not really sure that if I actually can add another thing in my list of like to dos. Like right now, there are just too many things in my plate. Anyway,
Same here. My college education,
yeah,
Go and Kung Fu.
yeah, there are some. Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Back
so
in
now.
lockdown, I also tried doing some music production.
Music, okay, nice.
I was pretty bored in lockdown and don't know what to do. I
Music
just
production.
did it for
Which
fun.
instrument do you play?
I learned classical music, but I produce the music in a digital audio workstation
Okay.
like FL
I
Studio or Serato Studio.
Yeah, I used to play Spanish guitar, classical guitar and keyboard, like
I used to
classical.
learn classical, so we had to play the harmonium.
No, not the classical Indian. I'm like those Mozart and Beethoven kind of things.
Ah,
Yeah, that piano. Yeah, I'm not that good that I can play some simple compositions from these legends, but not the difficult ones. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so today, the today's session was about, like, we were just about to end the session. We normally start at 4 o'clock, as it was mentioned in the telegram. So, you have on Sundays you have classes for Kung Fu.
Yeah, from 12 p.m. And I am an instructor there as well, so I have to teach in my Sifu school. We have 2 classes there, consecutive classes. I had to
So you won't be free at
conduct
4.
them. Sometimes we wrap up around 4, so I can join the meeting while traveling back. That's not a
Right.
problem. Today was a little bit late because my Sifu also does some special force training stuff, and he was away for a month in Assam.
Mm-hmm.
So he just returned, so we're having some chat.
Okay. Nice. Okay, Sashwat shared some link. I can't see that for the people on.
Yeah, Gurmeet, you'll have to open your app.
Yeah, okay. What is this poll? Okay, I'll look into it anyway. Okay, so let's just end today's session. Let's meet on the
Yep.
next week. So let's just discuss whether we'll continue with Fusaki or direction, like the Fusaki and direction of
That's
Leo or
actually
something.
what the poll is about, Gurmeet. So I
Hmm?
think I have a good idea of what people want to do as well.
What?
So what I've done is I've posted a poll on the Telegram channel.
Oh, okay, that's the poll. Okay, right.
That
Nice.
it doesn't show up on Telegram web.
Okay, I'll look into
Oh.
the app.
Oh, Shashwat, one more option could have been shape.
Just mention that separately. I forgot about shape actually while we were discussing.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. All right. Cool. Nice.
Okay, nice. Okay, see
Where
you.
can we see results of the poll?
You have to vote before you see the results.
Okay, and then you see. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Let me know if you can't see the results. You should be able to see the results.
Yeah, we can see.
Okay.
Okay, guys.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Hello. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Bye.
Bye.
Pranjal, if you
See you.
have a Telegram group, then you'll be able to vote for the.
Yeah, I'll try to make it.
Pranjal is not on the Telegram.
Not on Telegram, he's on the WhatsApp group.
Okay. So by now, Telegram group has like 26 members, right?
Yeah.
Nice. It's going fine. It's going good actually.
I'm planning on adding another on one of my students.
Nice.
Great. As long as they're a student of Go and not just
Yeah.
Kung Fu, that should be.
They are also both of them are also my Kung Fu students. So Shoham has been learning for past 3 years, and another one, his name is Shayok. He's been learning for past 2 years.
Great.
Go.
No, not Go, Kung Fu.
Oh,
Okay.
They started Shoham started Go about 2 months ago, and Shayok started 2-3 weeks ago.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, I actually taught Go to a few of my friends as well, but none of them are none of them get enough time to play much. So if any of them actually gets more interested, then I'll make them join as well.
Great. Okay. Yeah. Thanks a lot, everyone. I think
Okay.
we can wrap up.
Thank you.
See you all.
Thanks.